Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can tell, it's going to be a beauty related video. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought why not do a quick chatty video. And in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite foundations currently. So before we start though, I want to talk a little bit about my skin. My skin is generally classed as normal skin. I do occasionally get dry patches and I do have freckles on my face as well, so they are more prominent in the summer, and sometimes I like them being visible and sometimes I don't. But everybody's skin is different, so the types of foundation you choose is kind of ultimately decided by the type of skin that you have, what you want from your foundation, and where you're planning to wear that foundation and what time of year it is as well. So the weather obviously has an impact on the type of foundation that you select too. So for the foundations that I've selected, they are generally foundations that I feel comfortable wearing. Now I'm the type of person that likes to have light to medium coverage, and I like that because I like to have a very skin feel to my foundation. I don't use foundation often, so when I do use foundation I like to sort of give myself a little bit of a glow up, a little bit of a change, a nice little base to my skin. So the foundations I like to go for are usually light to medium coverage and foundations that kind of feel very lightweight and very skin-like. However, if I'm going out on an evening out, or I'm going out for like an occasion, then I'll end up building up the foundation a little bit more for coverage, and yeah, so that just change up the look a little bit more. But let me stop rambling there and let's get on with the video. So the first foundation I want to talk about is going to be this Luminous Silk Foundation by Giorgio Armani. It comes in this 30ml bottle and it's got a squeezy kind of pump here. You can tell I've used it quite a lot, and I like the fact that it comes with a pump because I feel like you don't waste as much foundation as you would when you're tipping the foundation over. It comes through as a texture of liquid. As you apply it, it turns into powder, so it gives that kind of like light, medium, dewy finish, radiant glow, yet at the same time a very nice, seamless, silky finish to my skin. To explain it is difficult. Once you've tried it, you'll feel how I'm feeling with regards to how the finish is, because I love the way it feels on my skin. The fact that it applies so beautifully, it just gives me that extra brightness on my face that I'm looking for. And the other reason why I love it so much is because I really struggle to get the right shade of foundation for my skin. So some of the foundations that I've tried end up being too dark on my skin or too light on my skin. This foundation was a perfect match for my skin, and I'm actually wearing this foundation today, so I don't know how you guys see it on me, but I feel like it brightens my skin. It makes my skin feel like I'm breathable, like I'm not actually wearing a lot. So overall I feel like the reason why I like this foundation is because it gives me that flawless silky finish. It's seamless when applying, so when you apply the foundation it turns from liquid to powder, and it just feels so nice on the skin. It actually feels moisturizing. Like I feel after a while I'll be wearing a foundation, I usually want to just take it off, but this one kind of lasts all day and I don't have any irritations and I don't have any breakouts with it. It does come in 24 different shades. I tend to change my foundations up as well depending on obviously the weather. So if I'm tanned I will pick up slightly darker, and if I'm obviously in the winter, if I'm a little more pale, I'll pick up a slightly lighter shade. And it's good to do that because you can always mix your foundations like I tend to do. Now with this foundation I picked up a shade 5, and it, like I said, it's an absolute perfect match on me. The price of this foundation is £43. Obviously it is a high luxury brand and it is a costly foundation, so I do try and feel like I want to stay away from using it on an everyday basis and kind of like use it for like occasions or like an evening out. So the next foundation I've been loving, and I've had this for some time, is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. So it's like this. Now this concealer and foundation 2-in-1 is an absolute brilliant idea. This foundation is actually a matte foundation. The fact that what I really like about it is a really creamy texture. Like it's so creamy, like when you apply it on your skin it kind of blends in flawlessly into the skin. It doesn't kind of give you that very matte feel. It still feels breathable on my skin. Like, I tend to use this foundation more as a concealer than a actual foundation all over. So I tend to apply the foundation in certain areas, and then it just, you don't even need a lot, so it just blends all out. And you can actually use your fingertips to blend the foundation out as well. I do tend to use a blending sponge. Although it applies as a matte foundation, it gives me that radiant feel to my skin. So it's not got that heavy matte feel to it. It still gives me that glow that I'm after, which, as you can tell by now, is what I want throughout for all my foundations. So it's a very good coverage foundation personally, and it is very buildable. It's not heavy on my skin at all. It's very lightweight. It gives me that coverage that I'm looking for, but with that dewy finish, which for me is perfect. So it does have hydrating properties, so it's very nourishing on the face, and it does, like I said, even out your skin tone, and it blurs out any kind of imperfections. It's got that very flawless finish. One of the best things about it is I feel like it does not oxidize, it doesn't change color, so the color that you apply on your face is the color that it stays. And I tend to like use the shade 5 and sometimes a 4, depending again on the tan on my skin. The other thing that I really love about this bottle of foundation is that actually the applicator. This type of applicator is just perfect for this type of creamy texture foundation. It's not a liquid, it is a liquidy form, but it's very creamy, so it's kind of like more thicker than liquid. So when you apply it with the applicator, it kind of just sits on your face, and then you just can like blend it in. Like I said, you can use your fingertips and you can use your brush to apply it, and it gives that very flawless blur out imperfection look. It comes at a price of £28.50, which I think is quite reasonable for foundations generally out there. And yeah, so this is definitely one of my favourite, and it has been my favourite for some time now. The next foundation I want to talk about is a foundation that I've actually had for years. Like, I would constantly purchase it and repurchase it again. It's a foundation that's like a staple for me, and it's something that you can kind of wear on an everyday basis. It's something that's affordable. It's this L'Oreal True Match foundation. This foundation gives you that perfect light to medium coverage. It comes as a liquid form, so it is very liquidy, and it is really hydrating. I think they changed their formula over the years, and they've added hydrating complexes to this so that it's really good for your skin as well. So because when I wear this foundation, I feel like I'm actually not wearing very much. It feels very skin-like. It's a very natural finish. It is a foundation that will give you light to medium coverage, and you would need to build it up more if you want to look at heavy coverage on it. But it's a very silky, radiant feel kind of foundation, and it doesn't feel, like I said, it feels like you're applying moisturizer to your skin. So again, with this foundation, I tend to use a brush to apply, and I feel like that gives my skin that very natural yet seamless finish. So this foundation comes in 40 shades. Even though they have the extensive range of shades, for some reason, again, I do have to sometimes mix my foundations. So currently I mix the 3N and the 2N together to get my perfect shade, because I feel like the two mixed together exact match to my skin, whereas 3N does do that, but it feels like it's sometimes a little too dark on my skin, and the 2N is a little too like light, and it kind of makes me feel look a little pale. So I feel like mixing the two gives me that perfect combination of colour. I don't feel like it's cakey on my skin like some of the foundations that are out there. I feel like they kind of like do the job for a little while, and then after a few hours they are cakey on the skin. None of the foundations that I've talked about so far are cakey on my skin, and this one particularly, being the fact that it's a drugstore foundation, the fact that it lasts for so long without it having that cakey feel is just, for me, it's just that feeling that I really like. This foundation is only £9.99, and again, it's a 30ml foundation, so for that price I think it's an affordable foundation, and it gives you the coverage that you're looking for, and it's definitely very lightweight on the skin. So if you're like me and you like lightweight, it is really good. It has always been one of my favorites, and it always will be. And the fact that it comes in a, I think it's a glass bottle as well, and it's got that squeezy pump, makes it really easy to apply. So the next foundation is a foundation that I bought a few months ago, and it is this foundation. It is a Chanel Natural Healthy Glow foundation. Now this foundation is a very light coverage, almost a tint-like finish. So the reason why I picked up this foundation is because I was like, I want to try out the Chanel brand, and I was actually looking for a tinted moisturizer, but I wasn't looking for a tinted moisturizer that was so luxury. This is again another luxury product, but it really does what it says. It is so light feel on the skin. Now I feel like, again, it's got those moisturizing properties, so my skin doesn't feel dry at all while wearing it. I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like I need to take the foundation off after a few hours because I feel like I've got so much on. I can feel like I could go through the day with wearing the foundation without even feeling like I'm actually wearing something. The fact that this foundation gives you that beautiful glowy kind of complexion, and you don't really need to wear like almost no highlighter because it just brightens up your skin instantly. So it gives you a very light coverage. You can build up on the coverage, and you can actually obviously add bronzer and highlighter to it, but it does give you that very silk like finish. I bought a lighter shade of foundation because the lady was like, it gives you more of that dewy finish. If you want something that's more sun-kissed and more golden look, then go for a shade darker than your skin, so it would give you a slightly more sun-kissed glow. But I bought it for the summer so that I didn't have to like sort of add more touch-ups to it, and I could just wear it as something that I wanted to, as a lightweight feel, something that gives my skin that healthy radiant glow. It does again contain an SPF 25. I'm not that keen on SPs because I feel like you need more. You need to be able to top up your SPs, but if you want it for like a short amount of wear, like I usually wear for like a few hours, then it obviously will do the job, especially if you're sitting in the sunshine. It'll give you that protection and also give you a little bit of coverage, dewy radiant glow. This is a 30ml bottle. It's a glass bottle. Again, I would class this as a luxurious brand, and it came at the price of £40, so it is definitely a well worth buy. For me, I felt like it did what I wanted it to do, but that's me because I like that skin feel finish. And like I said, everyone has different needs and requirements for the type of foundations that they use. Mine is that I wanted to just give my skin that dewy glow, so that's really what that foundation is about. So the next foundation, and my final foundation I want to share with you guys, has to be this Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is a really good product. I would describe this foundation as a very soft matte finish, so it's kind of like gives you the coverage that you want. Again, it's buildable, and it is a liquid format. I think I tend to like my liquid format foundations, and it does apply very flawlessly onto the skin. So I usually use a blending sponge or again a brush, and I only need to apply a little bit of this foundation because it does actually give you that coverage. It is classed as a medium coverage foundation. I have picked up a shade 122. I feel like in the summer I'm a 122, and in the winter I am a little lighter, so I guess I'll pick up something a little different and maybe mix the two foundations together. Though it's medium coverage, I feel like it's lightweight. It's not something that feels heavy on my skin, and I feel like this foundation is really good to cover up any kind of imperfections. You can build up on the cover, and it just kind of gives you that blur out effect on your skin. So it's got that coverage, it's blendable, it's affordable, and it's something that you can wear on a daily basis. It's a foundation that is only £5.99, and it comes in a range of 40 shades. For a drugstore foundation at that price, I think that is a really good foundation. Like I said, your foundations are all going to be determined by your personal preference, your skin type, what you actually want for your skin, whether you've got dry skin or acne prone skin. It is all of those factors will determine the foundation that you use. Not only that, but the weather determines the foundations that you use as well. So I feel like I tend to use different foundations in the summer So, and I'll use different foundations in the winter. I feel like none of these foundations have a fragrance. They all have a very silky finish to them, and none of these foundations that I've talked about oxidize. So those guys were my 5 favorite foundations. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Do leave me a comment below letting me know which one is your favorite, whether you've tried any of these foundations, and if you have, I'd like to know what you actually thought about these foundations. So until next time.